Hey everyone, I'm Alex.
And I'm Courtney, and this is Nerds at Odds.
Nerds at Odds is your weekly podcast about all things in nerd culture and beyond. And if you want to get the show 4 days early, ad-free, with the ability to submit your questions, comments, and concerns, and so much more, head on over to patreon.com/nerdsatodds.
And we also have Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, all at Nerds at Odds.
And we want to remind you to rate and review the podcast wherever you listen. It helps us reach a broader audience, and it lets us know if you like what we're doing. But we're assuming that you do, so...
And remember, if you do like it and you think other people will, share it.
Yeah, spread us around. Like Typhoid Mary, but for podcasts.
No.
No? Does that not play?
No.
So let's get on into what we've been up to. Courtney, what have you been doing recently?
I've been playing some Stardew, trying to get into it again before the 1.5 update hits consoles.
Yeah, hopefully within the next week or two.
Yeah.
And the guy said probably by the end of January, but we're recording this on January 31st, so...
Well, he submitted it, but it takes time for it to get, approved.
Oh, he submitted it for...
For the console.
Yes, certified, check, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Okay, that means he's done working on it at least.
Yeah, he did that, maybe a week ago or so.
Oh, so it's hot. It's coming in hot.
Hopefully it'll show up at some point.
I also try to get into Stardew, but I just feel like I might want to just play the game from scratch once 1.5 comes out, and I don't want to put in hours and then just restart.
I'm just trying to get back into it, try to remember what I need to do, sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Though I will do the remix bundles. We're planning on streaming it, possibly.
Oh, remix bundles 1.5, or was that a mod?
I think it's in 1.5.
Okay, because we've been watching Ray Narvez Jr.
Yes.
stream it on Twitch. We've watched dozens of hours of him at this point play it.
And I've watched some other people on Twitch play it. Halo Husky, really fun.
Yeah, Australian guy.
Yes. He's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got to get back into it, and the remix bundles are part of 1.5 because it's in the wiki. So it's not just,
Okay, that's cool. I'll probably do that as well. I'm looking forward to getting back into it. I probably played 100 or so hours. I wanted to get the platinum, but Journey of the Prairie King kind of messed me up on that. But now you can save.
With the update, you can save your game.
So I'm excited for that, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
You've also been playing some Hogwarts Mystery on the phone. How's that going?
Still playing it. It's pretty good. I think I've hit a point, because they've added, events and stuff.
Yeah.
But since I haven't played in a while, all the old events are, becoming available to me now. So I'm like, I'll finish this event, and then I'll do some of, the side quests stuff, which the events are side quests, but I'm like, I'll do this, and then I'll do the side quest. And then I don't get to do the side quest, because it's all right, become an animagus. I'm like, okay, I'll
do that.
Done. I decided on cat.
Obvious.
So then it was all right, next, Celestial Ball. I'm like, oh no, oh, and I took Barnaby.
Yeah.
Because he was the most adorable one. Should have gone with maybe Penny, but I like Barnaby.
So you're enjoying the game?
Yeah.
It seems like they've added a lot.
And now I'm on to a new event with some werewolves.
Cool, yes. Are you still playing the Match 3 Harry Potter game, or you bounced off of that?
I bounced off of that.
Okay.
It was fine. It was just there were some glitches every once in a while that would make me lose a level. This one of the dandelion plant thingamabobs didn't spawn.
Yeah.
And
kind of buggy.
And then I couldn't do it. And then they changed how the little tokens look.
Okay.
They used to be a little bit more muted, but now they're look like candy essentially, and it looks dumb.
Made it to Candy Crush.
Yeah, and it's just, I think I reached a point where it just stopped being fun.
Okay.
So I think I might delete that off my phone.
Or are you gonna get back into Assassin's Creed Valhalla anytime soon? Maybe? Should I just start playing it for you?
No.
So you're gonna get back into it?
I eventually finished Odyssey. You gotta give me time.
Are you gonna get back into Spiritfarer?
Probably.
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 I'm excited for Xbox Game Pass to finally work on Apple devices.
Yeah, well, the problem, I would play it, right? But your computer is actually the worst.
It's hot garbage.
Yeah, it's hot garbage. And it's just like, it won't load things very well.
Yeah.
And sometimes it'll just start, like, lagging.
Well, it had pretty minimal specs when I bought it 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's about time to get rid of that. I brought an adapter for my iPad so I can connect it to an HDMI screen.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll just use my iPad as a computer tower and buy a mouse and keyboard for it and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But I ran into a problem with that.
What?
It doesn't put out in full screen.
That sounds
It puts out in a box.
On the TV?
In any monitor you hook it up to, I've looked it up online. Certain apps will display full screen, but the apps I would use for school and stuff will not. Like, if you watch Netflix off of it, or we're going to watch the Super Bowl using it, it will put full screen.
Mm-hmm.
But if I opened up a Word document, it would be a little box.
Well, I mean, you could just type on your laptop itself.
On the keyboard I have for my iPad?
Yeah.
Yeah, perhaps. I don't know.
But, like, do the games go full screen?
No.
Not games.
Not games.
Why?
I don't know. Yeah, it's a problem. I was very upset. But, I paid $40 for the adapter. It's whatever.
Got a good picture of Kita out of it.
Yeah, we did get the iCat picture, which is pretty fun.
Check that out on Instagram.
But, going this route, I would have to buy $100 and something keyboard, $100 and something mouse, $100 and something monitor. So, for $400, maybe I'll just save that money instead of turning my iPad into a computer.
Yeah, maybe you should just get a new laptop or a desktop. Just
buy a MacBook or something.
Or just a desktop of some sort.
Yeah.
It's gotta be better than having a laptop. I don't know why you have a laptop, because you don't take it with you to classes or anything. Like, you've never taken it with you to class.
I think I just bought the laptop because I didn't want to have to buy all the stuff that you need for a desktop.
Like a desk.
And a monitor and a keyboard and all that.
Yeah, but those are, like, fairly cheap.
Maybe.
It's not like you're doing, like, hardcore gaming.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to buy a 4K monitor with 120Hz refresh rate on it. But I think that's why I brought the laptop to begin with. But once we move into a new place, I might go in on a desktop then.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Yes.
Okay. I have also been playing some Stardew.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about that already. I've been playing some Hitman as well. I tried out the Hitman 3 demo on the Switch just so I could talk about it on the podcast. It runs on the cloud. There are a couple games that do this now, like Hitman 3, Control, Doom. And I have to say, it ran pretty well on the Switch.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. If you guys have a decent internet connection and you have a Switch, it seems like they're going to bring over some bigger AAA games to it that run on the cloud. So that's a nice workaround instead of having to, make Nintendo make a better Switch.
Sure.
So I started playing Hitman on PlayStation because it was just a little demo and I wanted more. But I've been enjoying that. I'm not good at the game.
I have nothing to say about Hitman.
You have nothing to say?
I have nothing to say about Hitman. It seems fun-ish, but you're murdering people.
Yeah, that's the joy of it.
Cool.
Real quick, before we get on into what we've been doing, speaking about the iPad, I just want to throw this out there. I'm thinking about getting a new phone.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm paying off our couch soon.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I should treat myself.
Sure.
My phone's 3 years old.
Uh-huh.
It's time to upgrade that bad boy.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm finally going to have a piece of electronics better than Courtney's.
Well, until you get me my iPad that I've requested.
Oh, yes? Yeah.
For birthday, Valentine's Day, Christmas, whatever happens.
Yeah, it's going to be an all gift.
All gift.
It's the all gift.
All gift.
Yeah. I'm thinking about getting the iPhone 12 mini.
What?
The mini.
What?
The iPhone 12 mini.
I'm not up to date on phones. Is that a real one?
Yeah. There's an iPhone 12, there's a Pro Max, and there's the mini.
Why do you want a mini?
Because it's like $200 cheaper, and the only difference is it's smaller.
Well, how small is it?
I think the size of all phones.
I don't know why people want, a tablet as a phone.
Yeah, I'm kind of turned off by, the Pro versions that are, 9 inches.
It's I can't hold that in my hand.
Yeah, but I go down to Verizon, I was looking it up online. I trade in my phone I use my device dollars. I get the phone for like $12 a month.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. No.
And I got a nice little pop sticker on my phone that helps me hold on to it. Because we learned that you like to break phones.
Yeah, Courtney likes to break my phones and then blame me for it.
I don't break your phone. We were playing Pokemon Go, and I wanted to be carried up a hill.
That's the second phone.
That was the second. Listen, the first phone, kind of my fault.
Yeah.
Second phone's what I'm talking about. I did not break the second phone.
Well...
You shouldn't have had the first phone plugged up while we were sitting at a table, and then the cords just willy-nilly all over the place.
We're sitting at the library, and I had my phone plugged up on the wall. This was years ago. And it's like sitting on the table charging.
Yes, but it was
and
a
Courtney,
very short cord.
Courtney like puts her foot up, like across her legs or something, kicks the cord, slings my phone across the ground, shatters it.
That is not what happened.
That's exactly what happened.
No, it's not.
And then I got a new phone, my next phone. Courtney's like, I want to pick it back right up this hill, and I'm like, fine. And then I was, piggyback riding her, and I was playing Pokemon Go. She just starts kicking wildly.
What happened is that he felt we had the Pokemon Go open on our phones, and you felt your phone buzz, and you're like, oh, let me check and see what Pokemon slap.
Yeah. Well, the first phone was the first phone that Courtney did break was an iPhone.
It wasn't new. It was old anyway.
It was a couple years old. And the second phone I broke carrying Courtney.
Yeah. Up a hill.
Was a phone I bought from Straight Talk for $20. So... Yeah,
And then you got an iPhone.
No, and then I got another Straight Talk phone.
Oh, yeah.
And then I got an iPhone.
Yeah.
Because I didn't like the service of the Straight Talk.
And the GPS led us into, like, backwoods, nowhere.
Yeah. I was, we were coming home from Courtney's mom's house, I think, for Christmas one year. And we had this...
Weather was fine. It was sunny.
It was a fine day. It was a nighttime, I think, though.
It was, like...
Dusk. Okay. Anyways, we were using Google Maps on this Straight Talk phone. It was a piece of garbage. And it just got us all types of lost. We drove down
there was a dam somewhere?
Yeah, it was like a... By the time we decided to turn around, we were in a Hills Have Eyes situation. It was
a trailer park.
Yeah, it was a creepy looking
area. It was like an RV area.
It was an RV park. It was pretty creepy. And it was just super trashy, and I did not want to get out of this car. So we turned around after like 30 minutes driving down this one road, and we just kind of like found our way home from signs and stuff. So I don't suggest Straight Talk phones. So what we've been doing is we watch some YouTube, like we said, mostly Stardew Valley streams.
Lots of Stardew.
Yeah, and we also watch some Worst Cooks in America on Discovery Plus.
Yep. Which
we got a year free for having an unlimited plan with Verizon.
Yeah, we got, I've already seen, like, season 1 all the way through.
I've seen a couple random seasons of it.
So we're on season 17 because it's got Bobby Flay, and I love Bobby Flay.
Yeah. It's a fun show. I wonder how much these people play to the camera, how bad they are. Like, are these people that bad? If they weren't being filmed, if they were actually at home just cooking, are they this bad?
I mean, they've got to be. Like, I can't believe that one woman that was like, I don't know that high-tech kitchen equipment, and it was like a cheese grater.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not high-tech.
The one woman who thought the pomegranate was an onion?
Yes. Thought an onion was a pomegranate.
Okay, yeah, how?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
I don't understand. But, it's fine. We also took Kita to the vet.
Yesterday.
Yeah,
Friday. Saturday.
Saturday. She hated it.
She did hate it.
She was a good cat.
Yeah.
I was super anxious because we had to, like...
sit in the car, and then the vet came and got her crate out of the car to go in while we sat there for like, COVID safety reasons. But now she has a self-cleaning litter box.
Yeah, we got all of this afterwards.
Yeah, after she went to the vet, I decided to up her life, increase her standard of living. She has a self-cleaning litter box now.
Which is interesting.
It's very cool. She has new dry food that's
healthy.
Pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
According to my research, it's the best all-around dry food for cats. We kept her on Fancy Feast wet because, everyone needs a guilty pleasure.
But it's the healthiest.
It's the Gourmet Naturals Fancy Feast wet.
It's the natural one.
She's fine health-wise. We just decided to up her standard of
Yeah,
living.
my vet was like, she's gained some weight, she gained a pound. And I'm like, she's a ragdoll cat. Like, the upper range for ragdoll cats is like 15
12,
pounds.
15. She weighs 9-point-something pounds. Last time she went to the vet, she weighed like 8-point-something pounds, like high 8. She's in the low 9s now. It was like half a pound maybe. So I don't think it's that big of a deal.
I don't think she's fat.
She got a new toy. It's a bird that chirps when she hits it.
Which we did not think about for recording.
It's pretty annoying.
It's very loud.
Oh yeah, if you watch our Pokemon unwrapping, unboxing, opening video.
It'll be going up on YouTube and Patreon first, and then YouTube.
It should be up on YouTube by the time you listen to this on free feeds.
Yeah.
So check that out. You'll definitely hear Keita playing with her toy. I think it's in Courtney's
No,
one.
it's in your video.
It's in mine?
Yes.
Okay, it's in mine then.
She knew which one she could interrupt.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not that bad. But if it is, it's just Keita doing her thing.
And we got our new collar, new tag.
Yeah, she got new collars and tags. It's like a magnetic breakaway collar.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
And we had to get a new tag because we had the tag, and then I changed phone numbers.
Yeah.
So we had to get a new tag.
Yeah. I might change phone numbers when I get a new phone too. I think it's time to reset.
To be in the right area code.
Huh? Well, we're gonna move soon, so.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Area codes don't matter anymore, apparently, according to Verizon.
Oh.
I asked them, does it matter? It's like, no.
I like having my area code.
Yeah, I just, I've had this number since middle school. I think it's time to change it up. Who knows what websites I put this number into as a child.
It's too bad that, like, my phone number and another important number that I have to remember are so similar.
Yeah.
And I'm like, which one is it for this thing? Yeah. It's a hard time.
Nerds at Odds is made possible by our supporters over on patreon.com/nerds at odds. If you want to become a member of our community and gain access to the show 4 days early, gain the ability to submit your questions, comments, and concerns, and so much more, consider supporting us over there. Thank you. So, we also watched WandaVision episode 4,
yes.
And we're going to give you all spoiler-free thoughts on it like we do with every episode of WandaVision, and when the season ends, which I think might just be the end of the show, I don't know how many seasons it's going to get.
Yeah.
We'll give you a spoiler review of the whole thing as an episode.
Sure.
So let's go spoiler-free WandaVision episode 4. What did you think?
This one kind of ramps things up.
Like, it really ramps things.
I love the sitcom-y feel, but this one's like takes a step back from the sitcom, and it's just like behind the scenes sort of situation.
It tells you you finally learn what the show's about.
Yeah, like what's happening.
Yeah, and I think me and Courtney might disagree on this, but I think after this episode, it might be a little weird to go back to an episode solely devoted to a sitcom.
Well, this one's like, what was the episode called? It was like...
It's like now interrupting your regularly scheduled broadcast or something like that.
Yeah, like your regularly scheduled program. And, like, I think that shows that they're going to go back to the sitcom sort of situation. But... I really like the sitcom stuff, and I think next, since they did the 70s, it would be the 80s.
What's an 80s sitcom?
I don't know. 90s would be like Full House.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, but it's not like they're gonna. I think it's just gonna change, like, sort of what kind of jokes are gonna be said and what outfits they're wearing. Sort of the quality of the
What's
TV.
What's an 80s sitcom? Would it be? Did Seinfeld start in the 80s? Seinfeld might have started in the 80s.
Friends might have started.
No, Friends started in the 90s.
90s?
Yeah.
I was trying to think. I think Full House starts in the 90s.
Yeah, and that 70s show starts in the 90s.
Yeah.
So, who knows? I think Seinfeld started in the 80s. Maybe like Married with Children or something is also 80s. Saved by the Bell? That's 90s, ain't it?
That could be 80s.
Could be. So, we'll see what happens. I really enjoyed this episode. I would like it more if we kind of maybe have 50% every episode is a sitcom, 50% more of this, because I want more of what's actually happening. I feel like the sitcom parts are kind of gimmicky.
No, I like the sitcom parts, though. I don't know why things are happening, and this episode was a little scary. I didn't like a thing that was in there. It was kind of scary. I didn't like it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's gonna resolve itself. Like,
I don't know.
How is the show gonna resolve itself?
I don't know. It's gonna be real interesting. Also, there's some characters that show up that you like have seen before in certain movies.
It's finally the MCU.
Yeah.
I wonder if this show is gonna be stage 4, MCU? Because right now it seems like it's wrapping up stage 3.
I have no idea. It's interesting though.
Because I don't know if like this is gonna go places or if it's just gonna be like a cap on that story.
Yeah. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Nerds at Odds is made possible by our supporters over on patreon.com/nerdsatodds. If you want to become a member of our community and gain access to the show 4 days early, gain the ability to submit your questions, comments, and concerns, and so much more, consider supporting us over there. Thank you. So now let's get on to the topic of today's show, our Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe book versus movie discussion.
Versus BBC show.
Versus low budget BBC show.
Listen, it might have had a great budget.
Yeah, it did come out in 88, the BBC show. I wanted to start this just talking about the book by itself.
Yeah, book is a short read. You know, it's good.
I think it's like 212 pages.
Yeah.
At least the version we have. I think it's 12,000 words.
Yeah, it's an enjoyable book. You know, if you've never read it before, I mean, it's a kid's book, but it's a good book.
Yeah, I think C.S. Lewis is very to the point. He's succinct.
Yeah.
He tells you what you need to know, and you are out of there. And I think that is shown perfectly by the fact that Lucy, like, the kids go to the house, Lucy goes to Narnia, and Lucy comes back from Narnia in 24 pages.
Yeah,
it takes like 30 to 45 minutes of the BBC show and the movie for all of this to happen.
And all the books are similar page lengths, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like Lord of the Rings where you're like traveling for 800 pages and... Well, it's probably not 800 pages. You're traveling for like 100 pages.
Yeah, I feel like... Because C.S. Lewis and Tolkien were very good friends.
They were good.
I feel like Tolkien should have learned some of Lewis's succinctness. It's like, do we really need all of this detail?
No,
about
they
these
just
things?
worked with each other. They're like, we need to make these somehow about religion.
And I think this is something we might be able to discuss with the movies, because I feel like they show this more than the book. But I feel like Lewis is a bit too high fantasy for me. It's just a bit too much fantastical elements for my taste.
I like it. I like all the interesting creatures. I love Mr. Tumnus.
No, you love James McAvoy.
McAvoy.
Is it McAvoy?
It's either McAvoy or McAvoy, and I heard it McAvoy.
I've heard it both ways.
I've heard it both ways. That's a psych reference.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed the book. I think C.S. Lewis is a great author.
Yeah.
I've read Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, and I'm reading Magician's Nephew right now. And though that doesn't work for the podcast really, because the next would be Prince Caspian.
Yeah, so The Horse and His Boy is like the third book.
It is, yeah.
But they just skip that, so we wouldn't even like cover the third book at all. We would go like, if you guys like this, we go Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Prince Caspian, and then Voyage of the Dawn Treader.
Yeah. Because
there's also the BBC show for those too.
Awesome. they did exactly what Disney did. They were like, Horse and His Boy? Nah. Magician's Nephew? Get this out of here.
It starts, apparently, like, it doesn't follow the main people, but like Susan, Edmund, and Lucy kind of show up, I think, in that one. It's real weird.
I think, well, Chronicles of Narnia is about the world of Narnia and not about the characters.
No. I mean, it kind of, like, puts it together. So, like, the first one, Magician's Nephew, you've got, I want to say her name is Polly, but I think so. I don't know if I'm right about that.
The Magician's Nephew is the professor in Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yes. And so then Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, you got Peter, Susan, Edmund, Lucy. Horse and His Boy, they show up at some point, but it's more like World of Narnia sort of situation. Prince Caspian, Peter, Susan, Edmund, Lucy. Mm-hmm. Then Voyage of the Dawn Treader, you got Edmund, Lucy, and
one of their cousins.
I can't remember his name right now.
And then you have Silver Chair.
I want to say like Eustace, but that's not right.
And Silver Chair.
Silver Chair, you have that same guy, and then a girl he brings along from school. And then
Last Battle
brings like everyone back together except for Susan because she stopped believing.
Cool. I think if they were to do like another movie or TV show, I feel like you should do what the children do while they're rulers of Narnia in like the last
Yeah,
10 pages of the book.
That would be really interesting because they talk about it in the book. They're like, oh, well, they stomped out the rest of the evil queen's army.
And people asked for Lucy and Susan's hands, and they chased the white stag, and now they're back home in the children. End of book.
Yeah.
It's like they were there 20, 30 years, and what happened?
Yeah.
So that's the angle I think you should go, but I don't know if whoever owns C.S. Lewis's works would be like, yeah, you can create whatever you want in this world without using...
Well, I mean, you would have to have a little bit of a horse and his boy reference, because that's, like, it's supposed to happen during that time when they're in there. Mm. But I can see why they left it out, but...
I think the book's pretty good.
The book's good. I love the 2005 film. I think it's 2005.
Yeah.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I love it. It's great.
So, I think the book's a little heavy-handed with its allegories.
The overt religious elements.
Yeah, it's a little heavy-handed with those.
Yeah. But, I mean, it was a certain time period. People were writing about religion all the time.
Yeah. I think it works. It's interesting. I was surprised at how dark Aslan's death is in the book.
Yeah, they like, beat him. I mean, it's supposed to be, like, equivalent to what Jesus went through.
Yeah, but, like, they do not come near that in either of the movies that we watched. Like, Aslan's death in the book is just, like, a hard turn into savagery.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, let's get on into the 2000... No, you want to talk about the 88 BBC thing first?
Well, we can talk about... So, we did this because Tyler, my sister's husband, told us about this.
He apparently watched it when he was a kid or something.
He had, like, a VHS tape of it.
Yeah.
And, like, the wolf scared him. And the queen scared him, and I can see why.
Yeah, they're terrifying.
The queen, the evil queen, her eyes are, like, wide open the entire movie.
Like someone taped them open as well.
It's like she's just completely surprised at everything.
It doesn't have eyelids the whole movie.
But, like, it's terrifying.
It was a TV show that aired. It's a 6-part miniseries that aired on BBC in 88, 89.
If you want to watch it, it's all on YouTube.
Yeah, for free.
For free. No ads.
Yeah.
It's
can just watch 3 hours long.
Yes. But you can skip past some of the credits.
Yeah, because it has like the opening and ending credits for each episode, which probably take up 10 minutes or so. But I couldn't believe how long it is.
It's very long. They spend a lot of time with, like, the beavers.
They spent too much time with the beavers in their house.
It's very accurate to the book. I feel like it's more accurate to the book than the film is. But I prefer the film.
Yeah. It looks like, if I had to describe it, it looks like if you try to put on a stage play for Chronicles of Narnia, because people are dressed like animals, there's no CGI or anything like that. But there's no CGI. I wouldn't call so there's no CGI. There's people dressed like animals, and it's like filmed like a movie, but with like stage play outfits. And then for some reason, there were hand-drawn cartoon animals also in this thing.
Let's not forget that the wolf is like a human dressed as a wolf, and then they'll be like, okay, but we need him to run. Then he morphs back into, like, a normal dog.
Yeah, he did turn into a dog, like a German Shepherd type looking dog.
Yeah, some sort of, like, maybe husky or something. And then he'll, like, go up to the dog will go up to a place where it needs to go. And then you'll see it transform back into, like, the man wearing the outfit.
It's rough.
And the beavers are terrifying.
I think if you put more thought into how you're going to film some of these scenes, because they just leave themselves open and compromised with some of the CGI they use.
Oh, it's
or I don't know what to call it.
It's clearly hand drawn, and it doesn't belong there.
Like the shots where she pours the liquid and it forms the cup, or like she pops this tent up. Or the shot of Edmund walking to her castle, and it's clearly a miniature castle, and they're filming it like that.
Yeah.
If you just put more thought into how you're filming these scenes,
not to mention, like, the actual animals or whatever, like
Yeah.
the Pegasus and the weird rooster thing.
Yeah, the ones that are hand drawn.
And the panther with
you don't need them.
wings.
I would have done. It would have done better without them. Just you could have thought about clever ways to do these scenes and have them look good.
And listen, there are some stuff in this show that actually looks good. Aslan.
Yeah, the only thing that I think looks good is Aslan. He's like a puppet.
He's a puppet with maybe like 2 people inside of him, like doing the walking.
But he looks great when he moves. His blinking and mouth movements.
Not the flying though.
Yeah, but that's mostly because they're like transposing or superimposing him onto a screen.
That was rough.
But the puppet itself, Aslan, looks good in this film.
Yes, the puppet looks good. I think the costuming for the witch is really good.
If you can get past her face.
If you can get past her face. But the costuming for the witch is really good, in my opinion.
They also had horses draw her carriage, which might have been forgivable if they didn't also have reindeer in the film drawing other carriages.
In the book and in the movie, it's white reindeer that draw her carriage. And they had reindeer. I mean, they're not white reindeer, but they just showed reindeer about.
And they have reindeer pulling Santa's sleigh in the film.
Yes. It was very confusing.
But they have white horses draw the queen's sleigh, so it's just weird why they decided to go for that. It was like a fever dream, especially towards the end when they really get heavy-handed with these cartoon creatures.
There's so many.
Especially like the evil ones on the queen's side. There's flying skulls on fire and hideous-looking bats and stuff like.
And like ghosts.
Yeah, like come on, like ghosts that look like they should be in a Scooby-Doo cartoon.
Yeah, it's rough.
It got really out there. It was like a fever dream towards the end.
And it just like the poor guy who was playing Mr. Tumnus, like
that glued hair on him.
It looked like they just like put a slather of glue. I was looking for like a shirt sleeve of like, oh, maybe it's just like a shirt that they put on.
Oh, yeah.
Nope. It's glue.
Yeah, that's probably. It's rough. I would not recommend watching it unless you want to make fun of it.
I mean, it's fun to make fun of.
Yeah. I would give it
I feel like if you watch it, you could meme it very easily.
I'm going to give it a bad on the Nerds at Odds.
It was bad. Sorry for your childhood, Tyler, but it is not great, in my opinion.
Real quick, we forgot to do something last episode, and I want to correct that here.
What?
For our loyal listeners. Uh-huh. We didn't rate the Harry Potter films.
Do we have to?
Yeah, I think we have to.
Well, it's all you. I don't care.
Okay, Sorcerer's Stone and Chamber of Secrets I'm both going to give entertainings to. Mm-hmm. Sounds good?
Sure.
Back to your regular scheduled programming.
Okay.
The 2005 Lion Witch in the Wardrobe film.
It's very good. It adds scenes, like the waterfall crossing the river scene doesn't happen.
Or the reasoning for them all 4 going into the wardrobe for the first time.
Yeah.
The bombing scene at the beginning.
Yeah.
But I think, and the beavers escaping through this tunnel with the wolves attacking the hut.
And Peter is way more mean.
Edmund.
Peter is more mean to Edmund.
Peter's mean? I didn't think Peter's mean.
Peter's like yelling at Edmund all the time, like, you dumb person. You don't care about anybody but yourself. He was just going back for the picture of his dad.
Yeah.
And Edmund's like, you don't care about anyone but yourself,
Yeah.
And his mom's like, stop.
I suppose. I think all the scenes they added or the way they changed how things happen, I think all of them are better than what the book does.
I suppose. I feel like Peter just the whole time, he's like, Susan, you're just trying to be smart.
I hated Susan.
So, that's because
she doesn't do anything, but
she nags the whole time, but that's not how she is in the book.
Yeah,
that's and she's actually true. Like, she's the one who's like, well, I mean, logically, we're not even taking the coats out of the wardrobe, but then they give the line to Peter.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
I mean, maybe changing Susan's personality in the 05 movie was bad.
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe the scenes they changed with more tension in them, like the wolves attacking the hut and stuff, make it for a better film adaptation than
and that book. Time when you see like them running away from the sleigh and you're like, oh no, like that could actually be the evil witch, but then it turns out to be Santa,
which it's just weird.
What do you mean?
I just find it weird that Santa Claus is in the Chronicles of Narnia.
Well, it's because it's a Christmas like a Christian thing.
I understand that.
They're heavy on the religion.
Yeah, it's weird though. And
they're like, oh, Aslan's here. That's the start of Christmas.
Yeah. But I think the movies, the BBC and the 2005 one, I found a little boring, honestly. And I think it was because of all, like, seeing all these weird creatures and having all these, like, animals talking and all that on screen. Maybe that's just too high fantasy for me. Like, reading about it, I think, was easier than watching it for me.
I don't know. I loved the 2005 film when I watched it the first time. Of course, I loved Mr. Tumnus and Peter. I thought they were very cute.
Oh, yeah?
Every girl about my age when that movie came out was like, oh, Mr. Tumnus. Oh. And that's, like, James McAvoy's start.
Yeah, big star. From what I read, he was in, like, Band of Brothers and other TV shows, but this is, like, his first major motion picture.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's cool. But why do you think the next two films didn't do as well? Because this one made, like, $750-800 million.
Yeah.
And then the next two films made about $400 million. Each, yeah. So, why do you think that is?
People really liked Prince Caspian, I feel like, though. At least I did. I thought Prince Caspian was cute, though.
No, you don't like the movie Prince Caspian. You like Prince Caspian.
I like Prince Caspian.
The person. Gotcha.
No, but like I thought it did well personally. I mean, they made the third one, Voyage of the Dawn Treader, but I think Voyage Edmund. I think is Edmund the one in the.
I think it's in all three.
Anyway, so Voyage of the Dawn Treader. That one, it like takes Peter and Susan out basically completely. And that just doesn't... I guess people wanted to follow the four main people. But that's not how this world works.
My theory is that most people know the Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe book.
Uh-huh.
I bet a vastly small amount of people have read any of the other books.
I don't know. I don't think so. But, yeah, the Peter and Susan are in it. I think they're in, like, a flashback or something. But it's not brought across super well, I think. And I didn't really like the guy who played the new guy.
Eustace, whatever his name is.
Whatever his name. It starts with an E.
Yeah.
Don't confuse me with multiple E people.
Edmund and Eustace.
It's not Eustace. I know it's not. I just remember he, like, turns into a dragon at some point, and that's gonna be rough to watch on the BBC thing.
So do we need to also do this type of episode for The Lord of the Rings now?
Is there a TV show?
There's the movies.
Yeah, but what? I don't know. I've already read the first one, and I don't really like Lord of the Rings. It's just so long and boring.
Should we do this for Game of Thrones?
No.
No? I don't want to watch Game of Thrones again either.
I don't want to watch Game of Thrones because I have, like, the picture in my head of how it all is with the books. And I'm still waiting for that last book, last two books to come out.
Was it Winds of Winter and A Song of Summer? All the names of them, I think.
Yeah.
So he's got names for them.
What he said is that he has finished the next one, but he is trying to get a leg up on the other one. But that doesn't make any sense to me because it's losing popularity right now as we speak because the show ended.
If he was smart, he would have released one of them before season 8 came out. I'll tell you what.
No. What he did is he's like, okay, well, so that's how the show ended, and people didn't like it. So let me just rework that ending real quick.
I think
it's like the Snyder cut.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which comes out in March. We're gonna do an entire episode on that.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Yeah, I feel I don't know if I like Zack Snyder's movies, like the kind of gray, I guess. Drawn out in gray. I mean, you know, he didn't get to finish Justice League because his daughter died, so I'm happy he gets to now actually finish the movie. Yeah.
We should do this for Twilight.
For Twilight?
Yeah. Get you to read the book, watch the movie, See how gray they made the first movie?
Sure, we'll do this for Twilight as well, I suppose. But that's definitely not going to be the next episode.
No.
Next episode is going to be something that we have not even discussed yet.
And then I'll talk about like Midnight Sun.
Oh yeah, the one from Edward's perspective.
Yes, because I wouldn't force you to read Twilight and Midnight Sun, especially since you need to read all the Twilight books and then Midnight Sun.
Okay.
For it to make sense.
Oh, and while we do Twilight, I could get you to watch Underworld as well. We can compare vampire movies.
I've seen Underworld, I think.
You have to watch it again. Have you
Wait.
watched all 6 of them?
I think I've seen Van Helsing. That's what I've seen.
Now you need to see Underworld.
I've seen Van Helsing.
Underworld's good, I think. At least the first 3.
Van Helsing is fine. What I remember of it. I remember Frankenstein's monster was there.
Yeah. Hugh Jackman's there.
Was it Hugh Jackman? I was thinking it was
He plays
Hugh
Van Helsing.
Jackman, but I'm like, I can't remember.
Kate Beckinsale's also in it, and Kate Beckinsale plays the lead character in Underworld.
Was Kate Beckinsale, was she a werewolf?
Oh no, she's the girl with black hair.
I can't remember what happened.
Yeah, me neither. Real quick on the Game of Thrones thing, though. Like, he says he's trying to get a leg up on this second book.
Yeah.
But if he releases The Winds of Winter, which he supposedly has done, it's going to be like 1,200 pages. He has time for people to read that, you know?
Honestly, I don't think he's ever going to release them. And it might have to be, like, posthumously. And they're going to be like, oh, let's see what he had done. You know, at the end, it's like, oh, he did nothing.
It's a bunch of bullet points.
He sat there and did nothing this whole time.
Yeah.
Which is fine. You know, I understand you get creatively blocked. Sometimes I have projects and I start them and then I don't finish them, like my blanket and soon to be my scarf, because I have not worked on that in like a week.
Well, speaking of projects people are working on, I need to report that the Sailor Moon movie is doing well. At least my script for it's going well.
I was like, what?
I sold it.
You sold it?
Yes.
Oh.
No, I didn't sell it. But I've written about 60 pages of it. I still have a little more than a third to go.
That's fun.
I'm shooting for about 100 pages. And then we got to work it around a little bit, you know? And then I'll pitch it to my guy at Netflix.
You don't have a guy at Netflix.
I've got Netflix.
No, you don't.
If you're someone who works at Netflix, you need to hit me up. I got a script for you.
I'll be your guy.
I'll sell it to you for the least amount that the Writers Guild says you should sell a script for.
I don't know.
Be about 30,000.
That seems like a lot.
That's actually bare minimum.
It seems like a lot to me.
Now let's get into closing thoughts. Unless you have anything else to say about The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Honestly, I think you should just, like, check out the BBC show. Just
for
to
the lulz.
See what it's about. You can skip through it a little bit, see the terrifying...
Just see the outfits.
Beaver. The first time you see the beaver, right? They're, like, outside, and they're like, did you see that? And it's just some dude in a beaver costume. He can't look around without moving his whole body. It's like Michael Keaton's Batman,
yeah.
And he's just like... he's like, you see him run across like a snow plane, and you're just like, no,
not this. No, I'd suggest reading the book. I think the 2005 movie, I'm gonna give it like an average, maybe even a mediocre.
Sure.
Maybe watch it.
I like the movie.
Yeah.
Personally,
you still like Mr. Tumnus.
I do. I love Mr. Tumnus.
Yeah. So now let's get into closing thoughts and Kita's Corner. What does Kita want us to know this week?
Kita would like everyone to know to spay and neuter their pets, very important, and to adopt from a pet shelter whenever possible. And she hates change.
She hates change.
She hates change.
But she's grown to like the new litter box. It looks cool. It looks very futuristic.
She hated her collar for a bit.
Yeah, she didn't like her collar.
That's because we put the rabies tag on there, and she was like, I can't lay down.
Yeah, we had to take the rabies collar back off.
She didn't like the rabies tag.
Yeah, not the rabies tag.
So we took that back off. It'll be fine. She's an inside cat. She never goes outside.
Doesn't want to.
Doesn't.
I could leave the door open, and she would not even attempt to look at it.
Someone could hold her that she doesn't know, and she won't bite or scratch you. So
yeah, she might try to flee.
She might
She might scratch you accidentally trying to flee.
Yeah, trying to just like work her feet out of your arms.
Yeah, she's on the defensive. She's not an attack cat.
She's definitely not an attack cat. I was so worried dropping her off at the vet that she was gonna like break out of the crate because she did leave some marks on the crate with her claws.
Yeah, scratch the plastic up. I want to get like a new one, maybe like a padded duffel bag type situation.
Yeah, we need some suggestions.
Yeah, for pet carriers. Because we're going to have a car ride coming up soon when we move. And Kita's going to have to be in that thing for a bit.
Possibly 6 hours or more. Hopefully less.
There's only 2 schools that I signed up for that are pretty far away. One's like 8.5, one's 11 hours. There's one that's like an hour 45. There's one that's like 2.5, and then 3 or 4 of them's like 4 hours. So that's about the range we're looking here.
Kita does pretty well in a crate. We have like a crate with a metal door.
Yeah, it's older. I would like one without a metal door because she likes
to try and like take her paws and grab the bars and try and push her head through the bars, which is impossible.
Yeah.
But she tries to do that, and I'm like, please stop, you're gonna hurt yourself.
But when we got it from your mom's, it was like a 3-hour car ride.
Yeah.
So she's
3.5.
She's done something around like that length before. So yeah.
She'll usually meow for about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then she'll calm down and lay down and just look at you angrily.
I'll never forgive you.
I'll never forgive you.
She forgives.
Immediately.
Yeah. Now let's get on to the interesting fact for the day. We have 2. Courtney's going to tell the first one.
Because I found it.
She researched this one.
I was looking it up last night. I was like, I wonder, like, I haven't seen the Narnia actors in anything.
Anyone who play the kids, yeah.
But the man who plays Edmund, who is now a man because he has grown up, in the 2005 movie, he's now a political advisor in England. He quit acting.
Yeah.
And he became a political advisor.
I wonder how much the children got paid for the Chronicles of Narnia movies. And I wonder if they got like points on the back end or anything.
I have no idea. I mean, the Susan, Lucy, and Peter, they're all still like trying to do acting stuff. Yeah. And they are getting roles. Peter's in The Royals. Is that what is it?
I think it was The Royals.
I think it's The Royals. I've seen Lucy in some small stuff. Susan, I don't remember.
Yeah. Professor Slughorn's in it.
Yes, Professor Slughorn is the
professor.
The professor.
Yeah.
Which is funny. We were talking about this, how like during this time period, it's like, well, if you're a British actor, you're either in Narnia, Harry Potter, or Lord of the Rings.
It's just British literature really popped off there in the early 2000s.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. I think there needs to be more love for American literature.
No.
We have great authors.
No.
Mark Twain.
Yeah,
Edgar Allan Poe. Ernest Hemingway.
And then you have, like, Stephanie Meyer. And the person who wrote 50 Shades of Grey.
True.
I don't know who wrote 50 Shades of Grey.
No one knows who wrote 50
I've never seen it nor read it.
Next episode of podcast.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Not gonna do that one?
Don't feel like it.
No.
Though, the guy who plays Mr. Grey, don't know his first name, he is the huntsman in Once Upon a Time.
We just saw him something else too.
I think we saw him in a trailer for something.
Maybe it was a trailer for something.
I think it was a trailer.
But, so yeah.
But that's not the second interesting fact. You go with the second interesting fact.
My interesting fact is that they were going to make a 4th movie about the Silver Chair book at Disney.
Yes.
And I think Netflix was going to do it after them, but it has fallen through completely. I think probably because the people who own C.S. Lewis's estate have lost interest in it.
And the kid who was playing the new important main character.
Eustace.
Whatever his name is. He's probably too old now.
Yeah.
To play the part.
I'm telling you, Disney Plus, you should do just Chronicles of Narnia and do it about the world and not about the kids.
If I remember correctly, the Silver Chair starts out like, so when they get into Narnia, it starts off with like Prince Caspian dying.
Rough.
Well, he's like a king at that point. He's old. He dies.
Rough.
So that's upsetting.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Well, we'll see if we ever get to reading that book.
Maybe.
Yeah. Here's my idea for like a show based on American literature real quick. I think you should have a TV show, right? Based in the world of Edgar Allan Poe. Make it so like all these stories happen in like a weird town or something.
That could be interesting.
And there's like some overarching just strangeness. I think that's a cool idea.
Well, there's also that interesting news of possibly a Harry Potter TV show being in the works.
Yeah, you've looked into this, right? What is it?
So basically nothing is concrete. It's like some people from Warner Brothers were talking to some people from Netflix and maybe the Harry Potter people, and just talking about the idea of a TV show. And that's it. People are theorizing like, oh, could be like maybe the Marauders, could just be the books but in TV show form.
I don't know why it would be on Netflix. That makes no sense.
I don't remember.
It should be on HBO Max. That's what Warner
it might have been the HBO people and the Warner Brothers people.
Warner Brothers owns HBO.
Whatever.
So
anywho, it was just like people talking, but I think HBO has been like, there's been no talks, but they could just be lying.
I think they should do Marauders. You've won me over on this.
So there's three options. Marauders, which I would all be about, but it's kind of the thing with like the Grindelwald, you know how it's going to end. With like the crimes of Grindelwald and all that stuff, you know in the end, Dumbledore defeats Grindelwald in a duel.
Yeah, for that, it's like, I want to see the duel. That's the cool part.
Yeah.
I think the Marauders, you're saying it ends with Lily and James being killed by Voldemort?
Well, it's just like, you know what happens because you've seen like those flashbacks from the movies.
Yeah.
So you kind of know what's going to happen. But I still think it would be interesting and it'd be more of a light, fun show.
Well, like, you know a couple plot points here or there.
True.
But out of a whole show, there's not much you actually know.
Yeah. 2, you could do just the Harry Potter books again, but, you know, have more stuff.
I think it's a bad idea.
It could go poorly because people love the Harry Potter movies so much.
Yeah, they've already done a good job.
And then 3, a series set in the time of the founding of Hogwarts. So you have like Godric Gryffindor, Rowena Ravenclaw, Helga Hufflepuff, Salazar Slytherin. Because Salazar and Godric, they used to be best friends. So you get like, what happened with them? How did they start the school? What made them friends? What happened with the falling out? Why, like, all that sort of stuff.
It's gonna be weird with all the poop in the halls of Hogwarts.
Stop it.
There's no bathrooms.
Stop it. They wouldn't put that in.
They might.
But it's, you know, it would be very interesting. And I think it would be worthwhile to do the Founders as well. Either Marauders or Founders is my choice. But I feel more strongly for the Marauders, I think.
Well, that has more already set for what would happen.
Yes. That's why the Founders ones would be interesting, because it's like, we don't really know that much.
It could also go off the rails real quick. You saw what happened
but
with
also,
Fantastic
like,
Beasts.
I like older setting time periods. So there's that.
Yeah. But I mean, you saw what happened with Fantastic Beasts, where it was like, we know one aspect about this whole story, and we're just gonna make everything else up as we go along, and then...
I suppose, but this would be like a TV show. I don't know.
I think the main thing that might be a problem for a Harry Potter TV show is that J.K. Rowling like demands to be intimately involved in these creations. And does J.K. Rowling want to be heavily involved with a TV show for years?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a tough one, right? I think it would be better if she was kind of more hands-off with that, because clearly she's already in hot water, and she's said dumb things about just the world of Harry Potter in general.
And she's the writer of Crimes of Grindelwald, so there you go.
And the Cursed Child, she helped with that, too.
Yeah,
people hate that.
Maybe she's becoming George Lucas. George has good ideas. Just don't let him be the one to approve all the ideas.
Yeah.
Have a dude there being like, okay, JK, what you got for me? It's like, okay, cool. Oh, that's a cool idea. They poop on the floor. No, we're not doing that. What's next? Good. And then like you just take those ideas and implement the ones that, you filter it through somebody.
Some people just don't have filters, and I feel like once you hit a certain level of success, you're like, well, everything I do is good.
Yeah. It's like George.
No more filter.
It's like George Lucas, like, okay, yeah, double lightsaber. That's cool. Anakin as a kid, that could work. Who's this character? Jar Jar Binks. What's he sound like? No, we're not putting that in there. That's awful.
But the kids will love him. No.
What's he gonna do? He's gonna step and poop twice in the movie? No, why would he do that? So you just need someone to like check off ideas that these creators have at this point. Which it would be funny to see what Tolkien would have been like on the set of the Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings films,
No, he probably would have been like, you're taking this out? How dare you?
It's like, Peter, come here. What's the backstory on that piece of moss right there? Peter's like, this is a feature-length film. I ain't got time to tell you about that moss. He's like, I want to know where that moss came from. So there's a 30-minute backstory about how this specific moss grew in the mines of Moria and was transplanted to the city of Gondor on this specific tree that was founded by a sapling. And it's like, that's good. It's like, yeah, but it's 7 hours long now.
He's like, wait, why didn't you go through all of Bilbo's cottage and tell me exactly what's in there? Yeah. Why didn't you tell me where all that stuff was from?
Yeah, I want the first 45 minutes of this movie to be an episode of Cribs where Bilbo Baggins tells you he got every trinket in his house.
How he got this certain spoon, which was given to him by his friend's uncle's cousin's wife, who went on this marvelous journey
to the antique shop in the Hobbins.
Yeah, in Hobbiton.
Yeah.
Because they don't go on journeys.
Yeah, they don't leave.
They don't leave.
That's how this would work out. That was JK. No, J.R. Tolkien.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. We'll see you on the next episode.
Bye!
Nerds at Odds is made possible by our supporters over on patreon.com/nerdsatodds. If you want to become a member of our community and gain access to the show 4 days early, gain the ability to submit your questions, comments, and concerns, and so much more, consider supporting us over there. Thank you, and have a great day.